Hari Om. We'll start. Om. Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamyam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. We'll chant the Dhyana Shloka. Durga ji, would you like to chant the Dhyana Shloka? Go ahead.
And prepare maybe next class. Thanks.
Okay, fine.
I was traveling last 2 weeks, so I could not.
Okay, fine. Vandana ji, would you like to chant? Otherwise, I will go ahead and chant.
Yes, ma. I can chant.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh. I am driving, but I will chant.
You will be able to chant? Okay, fine, go ahead.
Yeah. Atulita baladhamam hemashailapadeham tanujavan krushanam jnaninam agraganyam sakalagunanidanam vanaranam adisham Raghupati Priyabhaktam Vatajatam Vatatmajam Namami Manojavamma Rutatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Bhutimatam Vareshtham Vatatmajam Vanarayutthamukyam श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये.
Okay, thank you. We will chant the Hanuman Chalisa. Yes. Shri Guru Charana Saroj Raja Nijaman Mukuru Sudhari Barnau Raghuvar Bimal Jasu Jodayak Palachari Buddhihina Tanu Janike Sumirau Pavan Kumar Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Harahu Kalesa Vikar जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन बिराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र ध्वजा बिराजे कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए, रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बढ़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही सम भाई, सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे, सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा, जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कभी कोविद कहि सके कहाते, तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा, तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना, जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जान, प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि रचनाहि, दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते, राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे, सब सुख लहै रक्षक काहू को डरना, आपन तेज सम्हारो आप, तीनों लोक हाकते काप, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे, नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा, संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे, सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा, लावे सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे, चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा, साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे, अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता, राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा, तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे, अंत काल रघुवर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई, और देवता चित्त न धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई, संकट कटै मिटै सब पीरा, जो सुमिरै हनुमत बलबीरा, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई, जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंधि महासुख होय, जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा, तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा, नाथ हृदय महडेरा, पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप, राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुर भूप, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, बोले श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना. So we had seen this verse, and then we also saw that who can actually, whose heart can actually say this, Sab sukh lahai tumhari sharna, is the one who has done that sharanagati totally, right? And also we also saw how there are these, what is this? Where is Hanumanji standing? He is standing at the gates of the palace of Ramji, and whoever who wants to gain an entry to Ramji's abode, how will they get it? Only when they are able to impress or give that password to Hanumanji, right? And for that, why does this, this privilege of being the person at the gate of to Hanumanji, he has these qualities. What are the 4 qualities? 4 virtues that one must have? Shama, Vichara, Santosha and Sadhu Sangama. So what is Shama? Shama is that control over the mind, mastery over the mind, right? And definitely, Hanumanji has it. Can he quieten the mind at any given time? Yes. Even though the other Vanaras were, running head in their attempt to search for Sita Devi, what happened? He could just sit down and meditate and focus on that Sita Devi within him. Why? Because what is Sita Devi signifying? She is that inner peace, right? That Shanti, and he could easily meditate on Bhagwan. So even in a situation where everything is in a chaos, he knew how to go towards that inner quietude and operate from that quietude. So whenever there was any obstacle, he was alert and he wouldn't get lost in it, right? No matter what the obstacle. Then Vichara is what? Vichara is that ability to do inner, is the inner enquiry towards that jnanam. That jnanam is what? That jnanam is that clear flow of thought. And so because one wants to go towards that jnanam, and what is required for that? Dhyana is important, focus is important, right? So a clear flow of thought where one doesn't get lost, that is important. So that is, what is that vichara? It is viparita charanam, the ability to go from start to end and end to start. So when will that happen? When we have that presence of mind. So that, and then santosha, contentment. And that contentment, is it in outer things and beings, outer experiences? No. That contentment comes from within. One doesn't have to seek it anywhere outside, right? So what is that? Praptasya upeksha, apraptasya apeksha. So what is that? Normally how is it? Whatever we have, we are not content in that. And whatever we don't have, we are having expectations towards that. So going away from this towards our nature, or being content in whatever we have, that itself is that santosha. So that a devotee should definitely have, right? And sadhu sangama. Sadhu sangama, satsanga is always happening. Nowhere, if I with good people, or be I with not so good people, be I with good circumstances, or be I in a whole lot of trouble, how should my mind be? My mind should ever be in that. So these 4 qualities Hanumanji definitely had. What was that? Shama, Vichara, Santosha and Sadhu Sangama or Satsanga. So now going to Sab Sukha Lahai Tumhari Sharna, Tuma Rakshak Kahu Ko Darna. So one thing is here, that for one who has surrendered completely to Bhagwan, for that person there is no there are no ups and downs. Whatever is there for them, they know that everything is in its right place. Everything is right in its own place. So nothing is out of place for such a person. Why? Because such a person is ever equanimous. This particular chaupai, we can say, is talking about that equanimity. What is that equanimity? Doesn't matter if there are ups and downs. Doesn't matter what the kind of pair of opposites are present in our life, which will be there at all times. But whether gain or loss, whether success or loss, or whether whether the weather is good or bad, ever being equanimous, that is that kind of life a devotee should have, right? And here what is the contribution then, you might ask, of devotion in that, to have this kind of samatva or to have this kind of balance in life. So for a devotee, it is clear that no matter what the paristiti, no matter what the circumstances, it is, it will have its own force of things. And it will threaten also to keep me off balance or sweep me with its way of, whatever is the obstacles that come. But because this person, this seeker, has this kind of conviction in Bhagwan, this kind of surrender or ashraya bhava in Bhagwan, how is this person? This person understands that if Bhagwan has sent this particular situation to me, then it is not without any purpose. If it has come to me, then what is it that Bhagwan wants me to do in this circumstance? That is what he questions. He doesn't question, Bhagwan, why did you send this to me? Why do you always do this to me? Why is this kind of, stepmotherly treatment are you doing for me? No. The sadhaka says, oh, Bhagwan has sent it. Definitely it's his prasad only. So which means what? Which means Bhagwan is wanting me to do something, to look within me for some answers, to look within myself for those solutions. So what must I do? What is it that he wants me to do? Sometimes we go through this kind of helpless phases, right? Where we don't know, why has this come to me now? But instead of sitting and crying, what does the alert sadhaka do, or what does the alert or smart person do? Through experiences he has learnt, if my teacher or if my parent or if my guru has sent this to me, or rather if the Lord has sent this to me, what is it that he is expecting me to do? That is something that we should ask ourselves. Even though we might cry, even though we might, feel that so helpless kind of a feel, yet what is it that Bhagwan wants us to do? Look beyond that situation and see what exactly I missed out, and that Bhagwan wants to be placed within me. So that is what a devotee does. So therefore this equanimity or this samatva, what does it mean? It means that things might go up and down, but within, how should I be? Within I should have that Atma Rama. I should be able to connect with that Atma Rama. Like, Gurudev used to say, outside drama, inside drama. That is how we should connect, right? So how can devotion, then you might ask a question, right? How can devotion bring about acceptance in our life? That is something that we have to look at Santa Charitra, any of the saints, their lives and how they went about situations, right? If we ever get the opportunity, if we are traveling, or if we are having some free time, what should we do? We can do japa, but sometimes the mind will not sit. So what is easier to do? Take a book, take up Santa Mahatmya. Like now Vivekananda Jayanti is going to come, so reading about his life stories, various incidents, or Ramakrishna Paramhansa, or Gurudev, Swami Chinmaya, or even Mahatmas such as Akhandanandji Maharaj and others. So there is this one story, one anecdote of Akhandanandji Maharaj, and his guru was Udiya Baba, and these saints, Sant Mahatmas, they have this different kind of quirks, right? They might different ways in which they will test. So this Udiya Babaji, he would be doing his, he would be in some temple or something Tirtha Kshetra, and those who want to be in his Sangha, what will they do? There will be some facility like a dharmashala around that temple where people can come and stay, other brahmacharis, Swamijis and all. So Akhandanandji Maharaj, once he had gone to be in the satsanga of Mahatma Ji, of Udiya Babaji, and it was winter months and it was cold also, so everyone was provided with the dharamshala is not something like a hotel or a resort or something, very basic. There will be one long room in which not more than one mat will be put, and you will because it was winter months, they were given one kambal, one blanket. So it was the habit of Udiya Babaji to come and inspect, who all are there at night. He will go and check. And sometimes he will find in a blanket, he will find a hole. Okay? The old blanket, so sometimes, rat or something would have eaten it. Right? So he will go and he will pull that hole so that it will get a tear. Very subtly he will do it and he will tear that. Okay. So now next morning, people will say, oh, how did this happen? So one day it happened to Akhandanandji Maharaj, and immediately what is the reaction? Immediate reaction is that you get, who did this? You want to see if something is wrong, what is our immediate reaction? We want to say, who did it? You want to put the blame on someone, right? So now someone told, because it was not just him, he looked around and he saw that, oh, there are 2-3 others also who have got this. And then someone said that, aapko pata nahi, it was Maharaj ji. Raat ko he comes and he does this. So immediately Akhandanandji Maharaj, his face transformed into a very content kind of a smile, where he felt so pleasant and blessed. Instead of that earlier, that anger which had risen, it just melted away. Why? Because he said, oh, among all these people, my Guru found me. He chose me to show his grace. And this grace, if we are able to see in our life situations, what happens? It opens up new avenues for us. It opens up, instead of going down into our limitations and trying to understand why this problem to me, why does this always happen to me? Instead, if we see who is the one who is sending this to me, who is the one behind this circumstance, this situation coming to me, then we understand that, oh, if it has come to me, definitely he has also given me the capacity to go through it and come out of it successfully. Right? So, what is the role of devotion? This is the role of devotion, making us stronger than our problems. Right? So, what is it here? Sab sukh lahai tumhari sharana, tum rakshak kahu ko darna. Having that confidence that Bhagwan, doesn't matter if it seems to be outwardly some kind of problem or some kind of pain situation, but irrespective of that, it is going to give me sukha only. When will it give me sukha? When I know that that joy, that happiness is coming from that source of that situation. Not that situation, but the one who has sent that to me. I have to take that as that prasada from that giver. So why? Because I know that the giver of this prasad to me is my hita chintaka, is the one who is ever looking out for me. He is my well-wisher. He is never thinking of anything bad in me, but he is my well-wisher. Right? So I have to have that gratitude for that source of my happiness, the one who rules over my heart, the core of my heart, right? That is true devotion. To test my own surrender. My Lord has sent this to me to test my own surrender. Am I really centered in Him? Is my ashraya buddhi truly in that person? In that person? No, in that Lord of my heart, in that Paramatma, am I really centered? Yeah. So that is what we have to see through such circumstances. Right? Sab sukh lahe tumhari sharana, tum rakshak kahu ko darna. When you are at my back, what have I to fear, O Lord? This is something that we should definitely have faith in, something that we have to cultivate slowly and surely. By how? By observing all situations that come to us and saying, oh, did it really harm me in any way? Or did I come out winner? Maybe in the world's eye, I didn't succeed, but if I have that conviction in the Lord, and if I came through scratch free from this situation, then definitely whose grace is it? It is Bhagwan's grace. So if I am able to have that kind of gratitude and strengthen my resolve to go towards that higher, then definitely what is it? What I have to do? I have to strengthen this devotion inside of me, right? So then the next two verses, next two chopais we'll chant. आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीन हो लोक हाकते कापे, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे. So all these three verses, right? First one is what? Tum rakshak kahu ko darna, right? He says, and then he says in the next verse, what is the second line? That आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीन हो लोक हाकते कापे. All three worlds are in fear of you. First the reasoning is given as to why is he my protector, why is he the one whom I count on in any kind of fear situation. Whom do I seek protection from? I seek protection from Hanumanji alone. And then why is that? Because teenho loka hakate kape. The three worlds, they are in fear of him. And then further he says, do we say teenho loka, then does it mean, those beings which are beyond our perception also? So here he says, bhoot pisacha nikat nahi aave, Mahavir jab naam sunave. Just the mention of your name, what does it do? It keeps away all evil forces, be they bhoot or pisach. So here we have to understand that first, what is it that people will ask? We'll go to that bhoot pisach afterwards. But then you have to understand here that, okay, how do I know that Hanumanji has such kind of, this kind of a personality? Isn't he just a monkey, right? But if we look at the tej, if we look at the brilliance on him, so then you have to ask, okay, how is his brilliance? So he says that, aapane teja samharo aape. If you look at his brilliance, the kind of personality he has, it is that which, can be handled only by him. His pratapa, his glory is such, no one can contain it. It is only because he is who he is, that he is able to manage his powers, right? So you might say that, what is the comparison to this? How do we understand this? Apana teja samharo ape. So they say, like if you, the Gayatri mantra, if you take, it says like the Gayatri mantra is how? The Gayatri mantra is very powerful. It is so powerful when it was to be given. When it was to be brought down it was to be revealed, it was not revealed to one rishi, it was revealed to 3 rishis. Why? Because that one rishi wouldn't be able to curb its power, would not be. It was given to 3 rishis, it is said, right? So why is this so? Because it is a Shrapita mantra. What is a Shrapita mantra? It doesn't mean a cursed mantra, okay? Shrapita is not that. What here it means is the mantra has that much power that it cannot be curbed. Like how, like for instance, if you see Ganga, the river, if she had to be brought down from the heavens, could she be contained easily? No, right? And therefore, what was done? So then Shivji had to be invoked, right? And this Shivji, what did he do? In his matted locks, he tied her up. And then it was only a limited amount of that Ganga's tributary that she could flow down, right? So to this Gayatri mantra, so much of power that, if it was just to be taken by us like this only, it would not, we would not be able to contain it. We would not be able to have that kind of capacity to handle its power. And therefore, it was given to three rishis. So to Hanumanji, he had so much of power, since when? Since his childhood. Why? We saw the story, right? Of the Vajra hitting and then, right? So when would he invoke it? When he required it. And therefore he alone knows how much of that power is required, and he would use it accordingly, right? Like when he wanted to go across the ocean, some people could do only certain distance, but it was him who knew he could go totally across. Why? Because taking only the name of Rama, he knew he could accomplish any task, be it even going up to the Himalayas and getting the Sanjeevani, right? So Hanumanji, his one leap to Lanka was sufficient to what? To put terror into the minds of Ravana and the Lanka Vasis. So much so that it was not just, Hanumanji, but his entire clan, all monkeys, thereafter the Lanka Vasis, the people from Lanka, were so terrified of them. They said, oh, one monkey can do this much. What to say then of army of monkeys, that Vanara Sena which will come with Ramji, right? So much so that when Angadji came after Hanumanji, Angadji came to warn Ravana that he still has time, he can apologize, return Sita Mata back to Ramji, and the war will not happen. So even then, when Angadji came over there as the ambassadors of Ramji and the Vanara Sena, then too the Rakshasas in Lanka were so scared that when he reached on the banks of the ocean itself, they said, okay, you want to go to the palace, we will show you the way immediately. So they didn't want to in any way have a conflict with him. And this was why, this was because of the way, Hanumanji had caused so much of chaos in Lanka. In fact, he had burnt the entire of Lanka and left just with his tail, right? So now going to our question, what is this stage? What is this Teja, or what is this brilliance, and what does it do? Teja is not just the brilliance at the body level, but it is that, which is also at the mind level. It is also that at the intellect level, right? So how does this come about? How do I have, you are saying, that Teja is not at the outer personality level only, it comes from within. Outer gross body, right? So how does this happen? This is because of tapasya. So what is tapasya? Wherever we hold the mind from being impulsive. Okay, wherever we are able to control the mind from expressing its impulsiveness, that practice comes from tapasya. It is this tapasya which will lead to that brilliance coming in our personality, this brilliance expressing through our personality, right? So it can be, how do we, what is an example of it? If we look at, some situations, how is it? We will be so irritated and angry. What do we want to do? Immediately at speech level it will show. And then we wonder, oh, why did I do that? I should have just kept quiet, or like, they say that, okay, drink a glass of water or go for a walk and come. Maybe I should have just done that. But what happened? The first opportunity, I couldn't contain it, and the words, and not just the words, the tone of voice and everything gave me away, right? So when we are able to control this impulsiveness by putting a pause signal, then that is called that expression of that tapas, leading. And when we are able to do this sustainedly over a period of time, what is it that will come about? That tapasya will lead to a teja coming in our face. Not because of wearing a yellow. That is not going to bring that brilliance on your face. It will have to happen only through that tapas. So tapas at body level is what? Tapas at body level is shaucha, cleanliness. Okay. So for that to come about, what is important? At body level, if I want to have that tapas, what is important? Of course, you will say, at body level, I should have fitness, I should exercise well, I should have a good diet, a sattvic diet, and then, all that, yes, all that is good. But then besides that, what else is important? Because no matter what we do at body level, what we feel inside, I might put a certain cream, I might, to hide dark circles, or you might put, certain creams to bring the softness, smoothness of skin, etc., etc., right? But when will that inner beauty shine? The inner beauty will shine only when at our mind level also that shaucha is there. At mind level also we are able to bring that quietude of mind, such that doesn't matter even if, some kind of agitation is there in the mind, in our emotions, yet those will not surface outside at vyavahara level, right? So what is it? So there is this, Deva Dvija Guru Pradnyah Pujanam Shauchavam Shaucham Arjavam. What is it? Deva Dvija Guru Pradnya Pujanam Shauchavam Arjavam. These are the qualities that one should have. These are the virtues that one should have. What is that? Reverential attitude towards the respectable people. Be they elders, be they the wise, be they gurus. Right? Deva Dvija Guru Pujanam. Pradnyaha Pujanam. So those who have that kind of stature, love and respect towards them, that reverence towards them is what one should have, right? And then what else we should have? We should have that kind of a attitude of service towards all of that will bring in humility. So when we see someone also, what shows that culturedness, bowing down, doing a Hari Om Namaskaram to whoever comes, having that atithya, that thought of, welcoming them, seeing that auspiciousness in them, right? So that is what that also showed our culturedness. It also shows the purity of mind, right? Arjavam, straightforwardness. Now this straightforwardness doesn't mean what? It doesn't mean that, okay, I am angry at this person, so straightforward, I should frankly tell them what is happening. No, that is not that straightforwardness. Here this arjavam means what? This arjavam means that transparency in our vyavahara. Transparency in our vyavahara, in what way? What I have in my heart, that is what I should be able to convey through my speech. In what way? In such a way that I don't hurt anyone. That there is softness in the tone, there is that sincerity in the heart. Of course, when it comes to certain situations and you have to show that anger also, we should be able to show that anger. But how? Such that it doesn't disturb our inner peace also. Such that, the other person is able to understand the impact of the words, at the same time is able to also respond to it, is even given the chance to respond to it, right? So the one who puts forward efforts towards maintaining the cleanliness in the heart, that tapasya will bring teja at both body level, at the mind level, at the intellect level. First, where should it come? At the thought level. That is what we have to work, right? So tapasya at the mind level is what? Tapasya at the mind level is being pleasant, having that prasannata. Even if the mind is agitated or disturbed, don't let it trickle into the vyavahara. Take time. So take time out, as they say. Take time out to try and balance it out. Be summer. Don't be swayed by the circumstances, right? Don't go for a ride with your practice. So how do we see this? If we look at Lord Shiva also, how is he? He is called Neelakantha. Neelakantha. Why is he called Neelakantha? Kantha, his throat is blue. Why is his throat blue? He took the poison from that Amrita Manthana that happened, right? A tussle that happened in the ocean between the Devas and the Rakshasas, Asuras. What happened? From that emerged one pot of poison. And what did he do? He drank that poison, right? And did he allow that poison to go in? No. Did he allow it to spill out? No. So it is contained right here itself, right? So that is his tapas only, because of which it has not spilled out. So too, what should we do? Those who are the devotees of Shiva, we have to take, or even if we are not devotees of Shiva, what should we take a lesson from that is, let not the bitterness, let not any episode in our life, any kind of situation in our life, let it not turn into bitterness and let it not spill out into the world. Easier said than done, right? But at least we should be aware that this is there in me, this weakness is there in me. How do I curb it? Do I really need to speak of it? Is it making an impact? If it is not, whom should I speak to in order that there is a correctiveness in it? Am I speaking to the right person? Am I telling them in a way that it is not causing any kind of agitations further? This is something that we have to find out for ourselves, right? So, because such situations will keep coming in, right? So like Lord Shiva, what should we do? Keep our eyes half inward and open out. We are not fully also there, not fully disturbed also. We should be able to focus on our inner peace also, right? So Gurudev, he mentions in one place that if someone shouts at us and we shout back at them, is it something extraordinary? It is not something extraordinary. That is but natural. But what is different or what is spiritual is that if someone is shouting at us, we are yet able to remain calm and respond in a very pleasant frame of mind without disturbing ourselves, right? And the other person is agitated. Is there any need for me to get agitated? Is something that we have to ask ourselves. So, Gurudev says that, for such a thing to happen, for this kind of a spiritual response to happen, one should have a cultured mind. That mind which has been, honed and toned and disciplined in order to give a response which is apt for that situation. And being apt for the situation doesn't mean that it disturbs the peace of all other people around. It means that I need not shout back. It means that I can still remain calm and respond to the situation, right? So for this, what is important? For this, it is important to have that tapasya. What is tapasya? Tapasya is being able to sustain ourselves in one particular value. Taking one particular value and holding it true for as much time as possible so that it becomes our swabhava itself. It becomes part of us itself. Right? That is tapasya. Be it, controlling our emotions, be it the virtue of honesty, or be it the virtue of non-violence, like Mahatma Gandhi ji had taken. Right? So any value for that matter, if a person is able to hold on to it, right, that will bring in that heat, or that tapasya of that is going to bring in that teja, that brilliance in that personality, right? So there was, speaking of Mahatma Gandhi ji, there was this episode where he was in prison and he was to be, called in court, and the one who had, brought on that situation from the British government, he had said that, when that, puny little tiny thin man walks into the court, no one should stand up. Okay, that was an order given. No standing when that Mahatma comes into the court. And the moment Mahatma Gandhi ji, when he entered that court, what happened? The very person who had put out that order, he himself got up. Such was the brilliance of his personality, right? So what is it? Teja will come when we are able to hold on to one particular value as our principle, as our guiding principle to show us where what can be done to be balanced, right? So mind by itself, it wants to do many things, right? Mind by itself will want to get into many things, but what do I have to do? I should have the discipline to tame that mind and make it do what I want to do, right? So this will happen when I have that viveka buddhi in place. So here, how is it? Hanumanji, Tino loka hakate kape. But before that, what was it? Apan teja samharo ape, Tino loka hakate kape. So because of this tapas which he had, where he could, hold his mind completely in his control, then only he was able to have that kind of power where, where all the things and beings were not only, shaking in fear if he came, but also had that kind of reverence towards him. It was not because of, some physical power that alone that people were in. By looking at his personality itself, by looking at the teja around him, that brilliance in him, people were in awe of him, right? And then further he says, next verse is, भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे. So when people, hear this, especially kids, what will they say? Oh, bhoot pisacha, you mean to say there are ghosts? And these ghosts will not come close. Where are these ghosts? Are there ghosts? So of course we have to, when kids ask this, we have to definitely see there is no ghost, okay? And for that, what should be in our mind? For that our mind, we have to tell the child also that if you keep Hanumanji with you, right, then there are going to be no ghosts around. For that, what should you do? You take Ramji's name. That's all. Mostly, kids, when they are scared of the dark, what will you do? Like even when I was small and I used to be very scared of the dark, especially when we are traveling, we had to, if you are traveling from Mumbai to Goa, and you travel by bus, and by road you will be traveling, and you look outside and oh, it is dark, and then the trees appear like some kind of ghost by themselves, right? Because of God knows what stories we might have heard. And my mother used to always say, just chant this mantra, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And it is mainly because of that sanskar only that later I connected with Maruti ji or Hanuman ji, right? So here also, are there ghosts if we ask? So they say, in the Puranas, they say that, or in the Vedanta we say that there are three shariras, right? There is the Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira and the Karana Sharira. Or what is that? Sthula, the gross body, then you have the subtle body, and you have the causal body, right? The three shariras. Now when we, when we say that certain actions are done, where are the actions done? The actions are done in the world. When we are in this, we as jivas are there in these three bodies, and we are, our prarabdha is in progress, right? Then what is it? Then we will further do some actions. Who is looking at these actions? So there is one Chitragupta who is recording all our actions. No matter where we are, we might even try to hide in the dark, but a Chitragupta is clicking and he's, recording what is it we are doing, what is it we are thinking. So this, what happens as a result of this? Wherever we are going in the wrong line of thought, where there is some kind of erroneous thinking, where there is some wrong kind of adharmic thinking, thought which comes, intent which comes, and it goes into our desires, into our actions, there this Chitragupta will, record that also. Something good, that also will be recorded. But what will happen when these kind of, wrong thoughts or erroneous thinkings are there? What will it manifest as? Switch over period. Switch over period. When we die, who dies? The body dies, right? When this jiva's lifespan of this prarabdha for this body is over, what happens? The gross body will die. But what will happen? The subtle body and the causal body, it will be in a transition period till the next body will come. But as much as the wrong thinkings, wrong intentions that we have brought into our thinking, what will happen with that? That will manifest as that long prolonged period of waiting till our next body comes, or next prarabdha comes for us, right? And that is called the preta yoni. This is called the preta yoni. You will say, oh, what is there? You have to only wait for some time. Doesn't matter. That much time we have before coming again into this kind of body, right? So it's fine only. What's the big deal, right? We have the three shariras, koshas, right? So you have the pranas. Where is the pranas coming? Pranas are coming in the, it's coming in the subtle body, right? Right? It is in the Sukshma Sharira. The Annamaya Kosha is only limited to the Sthula Sharira. So Sthula Sharira we are not counting of. Okay, right now we are looking at this. So when you say pranas are there, okay, then we have also the the organs of action, karmendriyas. Where do the karmendriyas come? Karmendriyas also come in the Sukshma Sharira, right? So when we say that I am hungry or I am thirsty, where will it manifest? It will manifest in that Sukshma Sharira. So when I am in that Preta Yoni, will I feel hunger and thirst? Yes, you will feel hunger and thirst. Will you feel the urge to call it out and say that, oh, I am hungry? Yes, you will. But do you have an instrument to express that? No instrument to express that, right? So that is the limitation of being in that Preta Yoni. You don't have a body, but what will happen? You will feel hunger, you will feel thirst, but there is no, there is no way to express that also, right? Or there is no way to quench that also, right? And therefore when we have the Shraddha Kal and all, what do they do? What do? We offer to our Pitrus. What do we offer? We offer food to our Pitrus and all. So always remember we should offer, right? When that time is come for our, why? Because if we don't offer, then the next generations will also not offer. Who will miss? We will miss. And you will say, oh, but where this kind of tradition is not there, how will it happen? I don't know, right? So, but where possible and we can do, in what way we can go, some birds, animals, when they come, right? Can we offer them something? Offer something which is palatable, okay, for them. Don't give them something which is totally artificial and cause some kind of harm to them. But some fruit, some grain, we can definitely offer, right? And this is for whom? It is for our Pitrus only. It is to earn that punya and also give that punya to them also, so that they are not, we also might be in that, right? Where that prolonged period becomes shorter for them also, right? Anyway, where do we want to go? We don't even want to go in that Preta Yoni. We want what? In this lifetime itself, if we are able to go towards that moksha. How will we go? By taking Hanuman way, by maintaining that purity at heart, by having devotion for the Lord, by having that ashraya buddhi in our hearts. So no need for another lifetime, no need for this further journeys. This lifetime itself, may we do that much good, right? May we keep the name of the Lord so much in our hearts that we don't have this kind of a further journey. Okay, so we will stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, पति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. हरिओम.